What's up guys, Chris here again with another review for the Four Knights of the Apocalypse 7 Deadly Sins sequel manga. Now, these videos have been doing pretty well recently, and I keep saying this every single time I make a video, but I am really enjoying the support, and the series itself has been getting better and better with each single chapter that I have read. This week's chapter is no exception. So before I get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos, because that goes to show how much you guys enjoy watching this content and how you want to keep seeing all this more often on the channel as I keep doing these Four Knights of the Apocalypse videos weekly, and I hope I can keep this up every single week. And it also helps YouTube's algorithm recommend my videos to more people, so it can help the channel grow and reach a wider audience. But without further ado, let's review what happened in the last chapter. So in the last chapter, chapter 10, we get the reveal that Ordo has somehow become some grotesque, mutated, corrupted creature, and whatever the thing was that Nasiens had captured a few chapters prior was commanding him. And this could also be connected to what has been happening in the gorge and why Ordo himself has been turned into this creature for the last couple of years. And I like how Percival reassures Nasiens that he will get his grandfather back, and he volunteers to help take him down. However, Dolores is out of commission due to the mutated Ordo's poisonous breath, so they are out a powerhouse like Dolores and her giant strength, but we'll get to see what happens next. So, on with the chapter. Chapter 11. Percival's Rage. So the chapter starts off with everyone staring down, thinking how they're going to take down Ordo and get him back, as Sin pitches in saying that if they defeat the person that turned Ordo into this creature, then Ordo will return to normal. So Donnie tries and takes down this flying familiar or fairy or whatever it's called. We don't know what it is, but the arrows keep missing. He keeps shooting until he's out of arrows, and no matter what, the creature kept avoiding all his arrows until he ran out. And just as he's ordering Ordo to attack, all of a sudden he gets shot in the head with an arrow, and no one knows who shot it. Now this could have a number of things going on. Either someone's off in the distance protecting them and helping them, or it's very possible that the bow and arrow could be enchanted with some kind of magic and it have a mind of its own or something like that. I don't know, because Donnie, I believe he was better at shooting an arrow than Percival, since Percival had never really shot an arrow before. But seeing him miss as much as Percival, I don't know, I don't think this is some one-off gag or something like this, some running gag. This could have some sort of meaning behind it. Maybe the bow itself could be enchanted or something like that. I am not entirely sure. But just as the creature falls to the ground, Ordo stops moving for a second and he's gone limp. However, all of a sudden someone chimes in saying that it's nice for them to ruin somebody's toy. A holy knight floating over them, saying that he would much prefer to just watch from the gallery than climb up to the stage, but the kids are causing too much trouble for him. And he's got amber armor, and that he is more or less a holy knight. He confirms this, as Ordo asks why he turned Ordo into that creature and who he is. He says that he is Talisker, the Amber Knight, a holy knight serving the Lord of the Everlasting Kingdom. Once again, King Arthur. So part of King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table. Percival says that he's more or less with Ironside, his father, and Nasiens tries to get him to tell him what happened to Ordo and what Ordo ever did to him. Talisker then lands on the ground, saying that if they insist, he will tell them on one condition. If they can manage to land a single blow on him, he'll tell him what he did to Ordo and what Ordo has done to him. He also says that if they manage to defeat him, as a caveat, he will turn Ordo back to normal. Sin is telling him not to fall for his taunts, but Nasiens enchants his two blades, Henbon and Belladonna, and begins to charge forth. Talisker says that basically describes Nasiens' power as he can create and spread poison and even apply it to objects. His magical power is a twofold technique with enchanting and shifting, which shows that he is quite talented. Percival goes up to try and fight him, but Nasiens says that without magic, he is no use against the Holy Knight. Percival, all smug, tries to activate his magical power that we saw back in chapters 4 and 5. However, nothing happens. Percival, as long as everyone else is just shocked, and Percival ends up not know, and everyone just flops to the ground not knowing what the hell is going on as Percival just farts. Oh man, that's just hilarious. But anyway, Nasiens thanks Percival, but then he lunges forward to try and take down Talisker. But Talisker ends up unleashing his magical attack, Hail Impact, as he then launches a barrage of large hail onto Nasiens. He manages to avoid them, but it shows just how powerful. If he gets hit in the head with one of those, he's basically done for. And luckily for him, Percival was fast enough to save him. But before they can all get up, Talisker orders Ordo to attack them as he hits Nasiens in the head, knocking him to the ground. As he orders him to finish him off, Percival gets in the way, letting the fist hit him square in the face, saying, "Don't just blindly listen to him." Nasiens kept the gorge safe for him. And even though Nasiens is basically trying to accept that Ordo is gone, Talisker says to take care of him already, but all of a sudden we see Ordo have some sort of hesitation as he struggles and says Nasiens' name. However, in that instant, Talisker just straight up in frustration says that he'll kill master and servant in one fell strike. Sinden says, "It's over, huh? So be it." Like he's accepted that it's a hopeless situation. However, as Talisker is launching his hail barrage, Percival runs up Ordo, jumps into the air, and starts punching as much of the hailstorm as he possibly can as he comes crashing down into the ground, all beaten and bloodied after taking a crap ton of hail to the face and punching as much hail as he possibly can. As everyone just saying, why would he do this? And Talisker just thinking that he lost his mind. Percival begins to say the Holy Knight's Creed, and Notting just says, "Why would you do this for someone that is treating you like a guinea pig?" As he just says, "You know what? That's exactly what you would have done." And Percival, looking at Nasiens, says that they're going to get his grandfather back to just believe in him. As Talisker says he's had quite enough of this, he begins to launch another attack. However, he's stopped in his tracks as Percival is floating in the air with a bunch of magical power flowing all around him in a vortex, as his magical power is unleashed once more as the chapter ends. So another great chapter for the Four Knights of the Apocalypse. Percival managing, after struggling a little bit in this chapter, to potentially waken his magical powers once again in this fight against this new Holy Knight. Nasiens' magical powers being explained a bit more, and Ordo basically being revealed that he might actually still have a piece of himself still locked away inside. So a lot happened in this chapter. We got a new Holy Knight. This creature that has been commanding Ordo might have actually been a familiar, similar to what that giant stone bird was to Ironside, and what that wolf was to Pelgart. Except he was most likely able to talk right through it, and was able to fully manipulate and control that familiar. It hasn't been explained, but that's what I think was going on. But now it seems that Percival will be able to use his magical powers again in order to fight this new Holy Knight. Now, the thing is, even though it's only been roughly a day since his battle with Pelgart, Percival unlocking magical powers once again, he could have a better way to deal with this magic knight, even though Pelgart was more or less incredibly more powerful. But this does lead into a little theory of mine that Percival might end up getting saved at the very last minute by one of Leonis's Holy Knights. Perhaps maybe Hauser or Gilthunder or Griamore. We have no idea. It's insanely possible due to the fact that they're on their way to Leonis. And if one of these incredibly powerful Holy Knights, I presume at this point in the story, since it's already been 16 years since the end of the Seven Deadly Sins, are probably there to probably scout the area. Maybe they heard about the gorge and went on ahead to try and see what was going on, similar to how Dreyfus and Hendrickson went to look at Danafall after what happened with Meliodas and the death of Liz in the original series. So I could see something like that happening, but them finding Percival and everyone there and bringing them back to Leonis. Or one of the 7 deadly sins that has been traveling along Britannia might find them and end up saving them from this holy night at the very last minute. If Gother ends up being someone that that Percival meets, one of the first sins, that would actually be pretty awesome, because at the end of the 7 deadly sins, it was said that him and Hawk were going to be traveling across Britannia together. Hawk was going to go to Purgatory to meet his brother, so it would make sense that if Gother was traveling around Britannia, maybe he was going on his way back to Leonis to visit Meliodas and Elizabeth, maybe tell him if he's found anything strange or something. He meets Percival in the Gorge out of just sheer curiosity of what's going on at the Gorge. Maybe he can solve something or investigate and tell Meliodas about it. Or maybe King and Leanne, since it was supposed to be a place for giants and fairies to live also. That's a lot to talk about, and something that I would really like. Honestly, if they get saved last minute by one of the Holy Knights of Leonis, or Gother, or maybe another member of the Sins, or how maybe even Tristan or Lancelot, which would be pretty awesome, I would be all for it. But it's also the possibility that Percival might end up beating this Holy Knight with help from Donnie and Nasiens, and maybe Dolores will get back up and manage to help in the fight. There's a lot of variables to look at, but overall, another solid chapter and a lot of theory crafting for what could potentially happen next. The Four Knights of the Apocalypse continues to be very, very amazing, and I can't wait to see what happens next. But yeah, what did you guys think of this chapter? Was this another great chapter for the Four Knights of the Apocalypse? Will you keep reading? Do you enjoy these videos? What do you think is going to happen next? And do you think what I said about someone from the previous series showing up to save them, could it be true, or is highly likely or unlikely? Let me know in the comments down below. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. And with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.